Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rick Cameron, the Marketing Communications Office at Mercer, but we're here today for a news conference on behalf of the Atlantic Sun Conference. Also, of us that are in attendance today, we also, this news conference is being aired on ASUN TV, so all of our sister schools within the conference and anyone else who's close by the computer will also be able to view in and watch the announcement that's to be made today. Just 3 days ago, we had Jay Billis on this very stage, who most of us know as one of the best analysts in the world of college basketball. And then a few hours later, we had close to 500 people here at Mercer on the arena floor to listen to Jay and to observe the tip-off luncheon, or tip-off banquet. Since then, around the Atlantic Sun Conference and throughout the country, there's been whistles blowing, the sounds of basketball, so it must be basketball season. And for those of the many players and coaches that are here today, obviously they have begun their ritual of getting prepared for the new season at hand. Those of us who serve in support roles, whether it be broadcasting or whatever, are starting to get our game face on. So having said that, the fact it's basketball season, I now would like to bring to the podium for a very important announcement the Commissioner of the Atlantic Sun Conference, Ted Gumbart.
Thank you very much, Rick. And it certainly is a pleasure to be here. And as he said, we're at the beginning of basketball season. And for the Atlantic Sun Conference, that's the focus of our premier sport. And our premier sport culminates in our premier event of the year when we have our joint men's and women's basketball championship. And all of you know that we had, for the very first time, that event in Macon last spring. And the reason I'm here today is because in large part of all the great work that went on for that championship. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the folks that you see behind me, President Underwood and Diane Owens from the foundation and Jim Cole as athletics director and all the people that are here as well. All of you had a role. We had a tremendous event with the media. The volunteer corps was outstanding. We just had an outstanding event, and that's in main part why we're here today to announce officially that the Atlantic Sun Conference will be hosting its men's and women's basketball championship for 2 additional years. We're coming back this spring, but then 2 more years in the University Center. So it's my pleasure to formally announce that this is the site for the next 3 years for the ASUN Basketball Championship. And while I have the opportunity, I do want to make a couple things clear that the tournament we had here last year was one of only 4, I understand, that was a sellout on a campus site. So you talk about success, that's a great accomplishment. And never before in the history of the ASUN, its predecessor, the Trans-America Athletic Conference, we had fewer empty seats for our basketball championship than we ever had. We've been in bigger facilities and we've had a few crowds that were larger, but as far as an event and filling the available seats, never have we had as good a turnout as we did this past year. And that's why part of what I want to do is invite all of you to be part of the event. You all have a role to play. You all have a contribution you can make. And it's part of the conference. It's part of the Middle Georgia community and Mercer University. And that's certainly a welcome invitation we extend to you to come be part of March Madness when we bring it back to Mercer. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to the President and invite Bill Underwood to come up, join me, and have a few words on behalf of Mercer. President Underwood.
Well, on behalf of the university, I want to thank the Atlantic Sun Conference and Ted Gumbart, the Commissioner, for this expression of confidence in the university's ability to be a successful host for the conference championships in men's and women's basketball. I think without question we would not have been selected for 2011 and 2012 had it not been for the great success of the tournament here in Macon last spring. And I want to begin by thanking a few people who had a great deal to do with the success of last spring's tournament. I know I'll miss some people, but there are a number of folks that I just have to thank. And I want to start with Sybil Blaylock, who was the chair of our tournament committee last year and just did terrific work organizing volunteers, recruiting volunteers, and making last spring's tournament go like clockwork, and I know that carried a lot of weight with the folks making the decision about where to place the tournament for 2011, 2012, 2013. So, Sybil, we're grateful to you for your work. Let's thank Sybil. We had tremendous support from the Middle Georgia community for the tournament. As Ted said, we were sold out for the championship, and I think that's a reflection of a great deal of work from a number of people to build support for the ASUN basketball tournament here in Middle Georgia. And I think someone who may have worked harder than anyone and been more influential in building community support for this great event was the publisher of the Macon Telegraph, George McCandless. The Telegraph does a great job in informing the Middle Georgia community, but I think also in promoting positive events in the community. And there's no question in my mind but that the tournament would not have been the success it was last year without the work of the Telegraph in promoting this great event, and that's a reflection of George McCandless's leadership. So George, thank you. Bob Hoffman and the men's basketball team came into the tournament last year as the 6th seed, and in the first round, if I recall correctly, you all beat the 3rd seed. And in the second round, you beat the 2nd seed, is that right, and advanced to the conference championship. And I have no doubt but that the tournament run by the men's basketball team last year had a great deal to do with that sold-out crowd on the night of the championship. So we're grateful to you guys for making last year's tournament a great success. There are a lot of reasons we bid for the tournament. There's a lot of reasons that we wanted to host the tournament. I think this tournament is a great opportunity to showcase our men's and women's basketball programs here in Middle Georgia and build support for men's and women's basketball here in this community. I'm really proud of both of our head coaches. I think we've got great head coaches in men's and women's basketball, and I'm really proud of the young men and women who represent us on the floor in men's and women's basketball. So I view the tournament as an opportunity to showcase their talent and their hard work in advancing to the tournament, and that's one of the reasons why I value the opportunity to serve as the host. But it's also a great opportunity to showcase in this community the great institutions that are a part of the Atlantic Sun Conference, and really the high quality of basketball that's played in this conference. For those of you who haven't noticed, the quality of basketball in the Atlantic Sun Conference is really high, and it's improving every year. And this tournament gives us a wonderful opportunity to showcase the other institutions that we partner with in this conference and to showcase the quality of basketball at those institutions. And I think that's a great opportunity for us. And Ted, we're really grateful for your leadership of the conference in promoting men's and women's basketball on behalf of the conference. It's also a wonderful opportunity to build community here in Middle Georgia. I think last year in the tournament, I heard more people in Middle Georgia pulling for the same thing all at once than on any other occasion since I've been here. And that's one of the great benefits of intercollegiate athletics, and I think it's a benefit of hosting the tournament, is it really is a great community building exercise, as well as an opportunity to promote Macon and Middle Georgia and all the wonderful things we have to offer in these communities. So we're grateful for the opportunity to host the tournament these first 2 years, and now grateful that we've received an invitation to host the tournaments for the next 2 years, 2012 and 2013. And we're really looking forward to an exciting tournament. And as Ted said, we're counting on all of your support in making the next 3 years of the Atlantic Sun basketball tournaments the great success that the first year was. At this time, I'd like to turn over the podium to Jim Cole, our athletics director. Jim?
Thank you so much for coming today. What a great crowd, and what a great opportunity. Last time I was in here was back early June. We were watching the baseball team with their selection committee, and I'm looking forward to early March when we're doing the same thing for the men's and women's basketball team. So that'd be a great event, right? That's right. All right. Listen, when we had the opportunity to bid, and we gave the presentation, and I do mean this, none of this would be possible without Sybil Blaylock. And Sybil, thank you for your steady hand as we prepared this year's bid. And truly, when we got in to make the presentation, there wasn't much work to do because the groundwork had been laid by the great staff we have here, the great leadership. And I told the conglomeration of ADs and SWAs and faculty athletic representatives that we were thankful for the opportunity to host a tournament, that we were thankful for the opportunity to turn Macon into ASUN fans. And my last slide showed a beautiful picture of a young little girl wearing a Atlantic Sun t-shirt, but she had her face painted up as Mercer. So our goal is, first of all, Mercer fans. But when that tournament rolls around for the next 3 years, our goal is to make them ASUN fans because of the great level of basketball that we have. But I need you to do something for me, the crowd, is that we've all been in athletics and we're all competitive, but you have to be in the game to compete. And I have to thank one person for giving Mercer Athletic Department the chance to compete at a high level every day. And that's our president, Dr. Underwood. Dr. Underwood, thank you so much. And I want to introduce another special person that we have in our athletic department. I take her on my side any day, and many thanks goes to Diane Owens for her work with the foundation of providing the resources that it takes to compete at a high level. Diane, would you please come forward and say a few words?
Well, on behalf of the members of the Athletic Foundation, I want to thank everyone involved in securing the tournament for an additional 2 years for Mercer. We view this as a great opportunity to continue to build support on our campus in Macon and in Middle Georgia for Mercer and its student athletes through our foundation, and as several people have mentioned, also to help build our conference, especially in this area, but throughout the region. One of the great things about having our tournament here is that it is central to the conference. We do get fans from all over the conference who come here to Middle Georgia, and we look forward to 3 years of great basketball, and I personally look forward to 3 years of winning basketball. Go Bears!
Well, we've made the bid, we've won it, we've got it for 2 more years, and now it's up to the product on the court. I want to introduce to you Susie Gardner, our women's basketball coach, to come up and say a few words.
I've learned a lot in the last 10 minutes, so I'm feeling a little bit of pressure now, Bob, but I didn't realize how important Sybil Blaylock was to this whole event. So Sybil, on behalf of me and my coaching staff, we're going to take you to dinner anywhere, anytime you want, within the next, once a month for the rest of the year. But I'll be honest with you, I've been blessed to play on some really good basketball teams, to coach some good basketball teams, and there's absolutely nothing like March Madness. Absolutely nothing like it. It is the best month of the year. March is the best month of the year, in my opinion. When I was sitting over there and I was listening to Ted talk, it's the first time since I've been at Mercer University that I got a lump in my throat and my eyes started watering. It didn't happen when I was introduced as the head coach, but it physically just happened. And I said, be cool, you cannot break down here, but I am so excited. It is so exciting to be able to host this tournament, y'all. I know y'all done it before, and I wasn't here last year, but this is big-time news, and it's great for our coaches, it's great for our basketball players, it's great for Mercer, and for the whole community because there is absolutely nothing like it. And if I sound like I'm rambling, it's because I am. I am really excited. We've been practicing for about a week now, but I feel so motivated to go out there and have another practice this afternoon. But I appreciate it, and I know all the hard work that goes into it, so I want to thank everyone ahead of time for allowing this to happen and for all the work that's going to happen in the process of getting everything ready, whether it be tomorrow or actually when March gets here. So on behalf of our women's basketball coaches and players, I do thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Susie. And what helped, you were talking about taking Sybil to dinner. You know, Bob, I think you owe me $5, right? We were going into the conference meetings, and you know, Bob said, "You gonna get it done?" I said, "Well, yeah, we're gonna get it done." And he said, "I'll take you to dinner 5 straight days." So I'm gonna save them. I'm gonna spread them out. I realize it's, but Bob was the big reason, and the young men standing over here, and the fellows that graduated that were on last year's team were the huge reason why we were able to captivate a town and a city like Macon for 3 to 4 days. So Bob, please come up and tell us a little bit about how you feel about the tournament.
Thanks, Jim. Well, to me, this is a great day for the conference, and it's a great day for Middle Georgia. It's a great day for Macon. It's even a greater day for Mercer University, and it's an unbelievable day for the men's basketball team at Mercer, in the fact that we get a chance to play on our home court for 3 straight years, to go to the best dance you could ever go to in your life. And I don't dance very good, but I would like to learn. And we want to learn, and we hope it happens this year. But the opportunity, the administration, President Underwood, Jim Cole, Sybil, everybody that's put all the time in for us to get done what transpired today. Ted, can't thank you enough, and we're going to do everything in our power to cut those nets down on March 5th. We're glad you guys are here. Go Bears.
There is quickly one other group that we may not have recognized. There are several members of the conference office here today. If you are associated with the Atlantic Sun Conference, would you at least raise your hand or stand so we can recognize you as well? Thanks for all that you do as well. Now, we want to open it up for our friends with the news media to interview each of the individuals that they would love to, so we'll break now for that. But we also are going to be conducting some one-on-one ASUN TV interviews for our folks who are watching on ASUN TV, so we'll be conducting those here. But members of the news media, please feel free. The Sports Information Department will be glad to assist you in lining up an interview. But is there any question from anyone in attendance? We would certainly entertain any question whatsoever. Anyone? Okay, guys, get your scissors out and count the days. And ladies, we're looking forward to it. Well, thank you for attending today. We appreciate it very much. We look to a great tournament. Thanks to the Atlantic Sun Conference.